On today's primetime local news, the Sub-Zero heroes that are braving the cold every day when pumping your gas.
The past couple days when it's been about -50, it's been kind of tough, but we've been able to cycle through multiple times in order to keep warm.
And a Holy Rosary student is making his voice heard with the help of a local MLA and MP.
We can really bring an aspect that they may not see, and that they can really understand where we come from and see where they can make improvements.
Plus, Wade Redden and friends kick off the Hockey Day weekend with an exciting evening for hockey fans last night.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
They're being called the Sub-Zero heroes, the men and women who pump our gas every day, even in the freezing cold weather. Our Jace Mackey met one pump attendant to find out what it's like working outside in the extreme cold.
Rain or shine, +30 or -30, Sam DeCoste pumps gas at the Co-op gas bar.
We pump gas, check oil, fill washer fluid, keep customers happy. We do propane as well.
Today, he's bundling up to try and stay warm in the close to -40-degree wind chill.
Usually it's multiple layers. We got our big coats, ski pants, long johns, toques, masks, hoods, gloves, everything.
While some people are miserable after only a few minutes in the winter wind, DeCoste and his colleagues find ways to stay positive.
It's not that bad. We're usually covered pretty well for it, but the past couple days when it's been about -50, it's been kind of tough. Some of us like to dance out there, but we really, it's a lot of rotating and lots of coffee.
Lloydminster and District Co-op decided to hold a Facebook contest where customers can give pump attendants a shout out for a chance to win a gift card.
The reason for the Facebook contest is the temperature has dipped significantly low to freezing temperatures, and it's just about spreading a little kindness towards our pump attendants who have to be out there serving our members and our customers.
Co-op customers aren't just showing their appreciation online.
Just yesterday, we had 2 people bring coffee and hot chocolate to us, so they do it just because they feel bad for us, and it's really helpful. It is really appreciated.
DeCoste is glad he has a chance to help people.
Just being able to help people, that's one of the better parts of it. Just being able to work, it's kind of hard to find a job these days, so being able to work and keep people happy.
Jace Mackey, Primetime Local News.
A few months ago, one Holy Rosary student was chosen to represent the Lloydminster area on a youth council for the Saskatchewan government. Yesterday afternoon, he met with local MLA and MP to further discuss ideas. Our Jasmine King has more.
Nate Bergen is a grade 11 student at Holy Rosary, but is also a member of the Saskatchewan Youth Council. He sat down with MP Rosemary Falk, MLA Colleen Young, members of the Lloydminster Catholic School Division, and Holy Rosary Principal Vince Oreo. They discussed ideas he has brought forward within the Youth Council.
I brought up stuff about mental health, financial literacy, and just how we can implement that into the school curriculums, and I think everyone else really agreed with those, so they're going to find a way that we can slowly implement them and just find a way to make it work.
Getting the youth perspective on education and what can improve is something that MP Colleen Young says is very useful on improving education.
Issues and challenges that they have nowadays are different than they were even 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And, every society as it changes, we need to move with that in order to ensure that the educational future of our system is what they want.
Supporting Nate and other council members has been an important step for Young. She wants to help give them a platform where they may not have one.
As our young people, they have strong ideas. They have things that they want to share with us as adults and don't know how to go about it and don't know who is there in their camp and can advocate on their behalf. And that is my job, is to support him and to advocate to the minister and to the government with regards to any ideas and thoughts that they bring forward.
The Youth Council is a direct voice from students to the Minister of Education. Making sure that the council can make a real difference is a top priority for Bergen.
When we met in October, the whole Youth Council said that we really want this to be a real council. We don't want this to be just a symbol where we don't do anything. We want to be out there. We want to show that we exist and be where we can help do presentations for schools, school boards, and just anyone that's willing to hear us.
The next Youth Council meeting is in February. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Children who may be experiencing sexual abuse or violence have been receiving comfort from Lloydminster residents throughout the Project Little Bear campaign. Items like stuffed animals and toys were donated to shelves in Lily's Toy Room at the Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services facility. This event started on November 18th and lasted a month.
So we take in collections of toys and stuffies for the children and the youth that come into our center, but we also accept donations of journals, blankets. We take those donations throughout the whole year.
Paul Lard says this campaign was a great opportunity to bring the community together and how it all started with a man and his vision.
Started with Paul LaBerge contacting the Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services, and he had a great vision of how to give back to this community and back to the center. So we went with it, we did all the planning with him, and the collaboration was amazing, and it was a great opportunity to do something in memory of his dad, and we wanted to honor that, and the vision was fantastic, and the community support was amazing.
Project Little Bear will continue to run through every October, which is Child Abuse Prevention Month. A program aimed at helping people quit tobacco is coming to Lloydminster. Quit Core is a 6-week program that provides support and strategies to help people quit using tobacco products.
Of many different health professionals in this program. Each week we have a different topic, and I do during the second week have a pharmacist come in and talk about some of the pharmacology, nicotine replacement therapies, and some of the quitting medications. We talk about stress management. I'll have a mental health therapist come in for that. We talk about healthy living in general, so we have a dietitian, and I will lead the exercise component of that class.
The support of others during this program is one of the more important steps to help people quit.
It's really important. Quitting smoking is very difficult, but lots of people have done it. We know that the more support you have, the more likely it is that you will make that change. Part of what we do here at the Primary Care Network, we look to improve people's health, and honestly, the number one thing you can do to improve your health if you use tobacco is to quit that.
Quit Core begins January 28th. You can find more information or sign up by contacting the Primary Care Network. It's still a cold one out there. Here's our Jasmine King with your Friday weather.
Thanks, Judy. Taking a look at your current forecast, it is 24 degrees. Now there is a bit of a stronger wind, but nothing too crazy. But still with that wind chill, we are getting closer to that minus 40 degrees as we are at minus 37. And now looking at your satellite radar, we did see some snow earlier on today and overnight, and it looks like that will continue going down to the North Battleford area and still up in the Bonnyville and Cold Lake area as well. And now currently around the region, Vermilion and St. Paul and Bonnyville are all sitting at minus 24 degrees. Cold Lake is also at minus 24 and Wainwright is at minus 26. And looking at the Saskatchewan side, again, Maidstone, St. Walburg are at minus 24. It's a really common temperature that we're seeing right now, and minus 22 in both Green Lake and Meadow Lake. And looking right now around other places in the region, Melfort is at minus 20 degrees, and Prince Albert is also at minus 20, and Saskatoon is at minus 22, and then Red Deer is down at minus 26. So as we move more to the Alberta side, we are seeing those colder temperatures. And now looking at your 3-day forecast, it is at minus 24 degrees currently. Tomorrow in the border city with that bit of sun coming out. And we are going to be seeing a wind chill at around minus 34 degrees. And now Sunday is when it's going to be one of the last cold days that we are going to be seeing for a while at minus 20 degrees and then getting up to minus 32 with the wind chill. And on Monday, now this is when we are probably going to be happier as we're moving into those single-digit temperatures at minus 4 on Monday. And with the wind chill, we are only getting down to minus 11. So a definite change, and I'm sure everyone's excited for that compared to the week we previously had. But that is your 3-day forecast, and we'll have more news coming up after the break.
Hockey Day in Saskatchewan began with a star-studded alumni game in Hillman last night, bringing out the entire community. Josh Ryan has more on the biggest hockey event in the community's history.
Seeing the Redden Centennial Arena filled isn't an unusual occurrence during the winter months, but Thursday's star-studded alumni game was a special event for Hillmont.
The kids are all really excited for it. Parents are all really excited. It's just amazing to see all this high of level of hockey here in Hillmont.
It's pretty an unreal experience to see like players that have played in the NHL like right up close, not something that you'd see in an actual rink.
Along with many Hitman stars, the night featured several ex-NHLers, including Lance Ward, Oilers legend Marty McSorley, and hometown hero Wade Redden, flanked by several family members and friends.
Wade Redden! Bringing all these guys together. Wade's all his buddies, most of his buddies here tonight, and they're having a fun game.
My dad is playing, my uncle's playing, and I know Wade, obviously, and then his brother Bart, and then quite a few.
The hope for the event is to sell the game to the next generation, both on and off the ice.
It's more than just hockey. It's coming together as communities, coming together with people, and creating friendships and growing as individuals. That's what hockey's about.
We have pretty good numbers initiation, but I think that those numbers fade out as the kids get older. So hopefully it can kind of keep kids engaged and keep kids out here in rural hockey a little bit longer.
After the excellent turnout, a sold-out crowd awaits for tonight's banquet.
They've always had that. Hillmont, when they go to do things, they do it very well. You got Sean Newman here that plays with the Hitman, that has done a lot of work, and there's a few girls in the community that have got everything organized and the banquet all set up.
And based on the enthusiasm during last night's action, it's an evening the community won't soon forget.
All these guys that have made it to higher levels of hockey all come back to play tonight. It's pretty cool.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
Keeping the hometown rival alive, two basketball teams go head-to-head this weekend for a tournament title. The Lloydminster Comp JV boys basketball team is getting ready for the weekend where they will face their rivals, the Holy Rosary Raiders. The Raiders are hosting 16 boys and girls teams tonight and tomorrow. Coach Kevin Swanky has high hopes for his team.
Hopefully this weekend we can come away with 3 wins and a tournament win. Be nice to win the tournament at our crosstown rivals.
After losing to Kitscoty on Tuesday, Swanky said his team focused mainly on shooting in practice this week and getting aggressive around the basketball. The finals will be held tomorrow night at 5:30. And it's still cold out there. Here's our Jasmine King with your Friday weather.
Thanks, Judy. Now looking at the current temperatures here in the border city, we are still sitting at around minus 24 degrees. And now overnight, there isn't a chance we will be seeing some snow like we did see today, sitting at minus 27, and then tomorrow will be again around minus 24 degrees. And looking at North Battleford, they are seeing a bit of snow right now at minus 23 degrees, and overnight they will be getting a little bit colder, but again, not too bad at minus 27, and then tomorrow they will be at minus 24 degrees. And then Cold Lake is also at minus 24, and they will be seeing that same minus 27 degrees overnight, and then tomorrow around minus 22. And now tomorrow again around the region, Vermilion and Vegreville and Wainwright are all sitting at minus 25 degrees. Cold Lake, Pearson and Bonnyville are at minus 22, and St. Paul is at minus 24. And now Maidstone again is also at minus 24 degrees. North Battleford is at minus 24. And Green Lake is going to be at minus 20, so that will be one of the warmer spots. And looking overnight across the region, Meadow Lake will be at minus 26, and we will be seeing just that cold all around. Paradise Hill and Bonnyville are all sitting at minus 27 degrees, and Myrnam and Wainwright will be getting down to those minus 30s overnight. And looking at your national forecast, Vancouver is our only positive place at 2 degrees. And then St. John's, they've had a crazy amount of snow, but they won't be too cold, sitting at -5. Halifax will be at -14, and Toronto will be at -9. And then in Regina, -19. And in the territories, they are still going to be colder than what we're seeing down here. With Whitehorse at -35 degrees, Yellowknife, there is going to be some snow at -27, and Iqaluit at -24. Now looking at your 7-day forecast, again, this weekend is where we're going to be seeing those colder temperatures before we go into next week, with Saturday at -24 degrees and that mix of sun and cloud throughout. And then Sunday will be one of the coldest days of the upcoming week, and maybe the last that we'll be seeing of that cold for a while, at -20 degrees. And now next week is that mix of sun and cloud throughout. Monday is going to be at -4 degrees. Tuesday is going to be at -2, which is looking like it'll be one of our warmer days of the week. Wednesday will be at -6. Thursday will be at -4, and then Friday will be the same at -6. So again, as we go into next week, we'll be getting away from those -30s and -50s with the wind chill, and we'll still be in those single-digit temperatures and that mix of sun and cloud throughout the week. And our averages for this week are sitting at around -12 degrees, and our average lows are at around -16. But that is your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
It's that time for the question of the day, which is NBC recently announced their new streaming service called Peacock, set to launch in a few months. Do you think there are too many streaming services, and how many do you subscribe to? I have to say I only subscribe to one, which is Netflix, right?
Yeah, I use my friend's Netflix actually, but I
Yeah.
only subscribe to Crave. But I don't subscribe to too many, but just seeing the amount that's out there now, I think it's too much, because it started as like a one-off thing, and now everyone has their own streaming
Of course,
service.
and once NBC and other ones jump on, it's going to cost a lot of people a lot of money in terms of how many different choices you have, right? So I think it'll be interesting to see if they'll amalgamate everybody into one.
Go
You know what I
back
mean?
to
Go back to
TV.
TV, like almost like what Shaw does, and give you a little, you pay $35 or $50 for this package, but who's going to do that? That's the thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately. Anyway, it's time for the pets. Thanks for sending your pets for us for a chance to win a gift certificate from the Pet Pat, and the winner will be announced later on at the end of the second half.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Here in Hillmont, I'm now joined by the man whose name sits atop the building, Wade Redden. Thank you very much for joining us after one period of play at the alumni game for Hockey Day in Saskatchewan. How surreal is it, I guess, to still come back home and see your likeness, I guess, in the building, and so many familiar faces as well?
Well, it's an exciting weekend building up to it. I know when they called me a year ago thinking about putting a bid in for this event, I was on board right away, and sure enough they get it. So building up to it now, thinking about this game, and Sean Newman put a lot of great work into getting everything organized. So it's a lot of fun to be out there. I think the action is probably a little faster for us on the ice than the spectators. I don't know if it's razor blade action out there, but it's fun. It's fun to be out there. A lot of these guys I know from the area, and it's great to see everyone again.
Also, I guess, how great is it to see the community grow? Obviously, this is a really good opportunity for people in the area, not just for the hockey community, but also for other aspects of the community in terms of the economy as well.
Yeah, no, it's huge for the community, this whole event, Hockey Day in Saskatchewan. I think it's going to raise a lot of great money for this arena. I remember when they, organized and building this place back in, I guess, the mid-2000, 2006, 7, 8, they finally opened it. So, I mean, everyone gets on board, they rally together. That's what this community is about. It's great people, and everyone supports each other. So it's fun to be back, and real proud for me to be from here and to remember my upbringing and in the old arena, and now seeing an opportunity for the next generation to have a place to come and enjoy the game of hockey. So it's a lot of fun.
Now, the arena came about a little towards the end of your NHL career. Now that you've had a little longer time to sort of be separated from that, is there still a part of you that it feels like, oh, that's only yesterday you played, or is there kind of been a full adjustment now where, your ordinary citizen life has kicked in, I guess?
Yeah, I guess it's been a while already since I've been retired. So yeah, you kind of settle into life after hockey, and I've been fortunate, with having a young family, and life's pretty good, living in Kelowna and stuff, and pretty fortunate in a lot of ways. So it's, obviously would have loved to keep playing even till now. There's some guys in their 40s going, but wasn't in the cards, and I was really fortunate to have the career I did. And like I said, I'd come back here a lot in the summers when I was playing, and really kind of re-energize myself for another season, get down to, keep me grounded and work ethic, all that kind of stuff. I remember an old mentor of mine was Brad McCrimmon, and he always said, go put in a few hours on the farm, and then, or a day on the farm and 2 hours at the rink doesn't seem so bad. So always kind of lived by that, and learned a lot from the people in this community.
Absolutely. And they certainly seem excited to see you back again as well. Is there a bit of a hope maybe that when you see all these young kids who obviously idolize you and other guys here in the building, that's kind of that hope that, everyone can not necessarily have an exact same future you had in hockey, but they can allow hockey to take them certain places, and you can have big dreams no matter what kind of small community you're in? Oh,
yeah, no question. I show people the Google image of Hillmond on some buddies that live from a city or whatever, and it's pretty amazing, what this little community, all the great people that come here. People don't realize it, but there's guys in that room that went on to play junior, college, pro hockey, and some just came and not just came here, but play the senior here and have a fun with the game. And I think that's one thing I've always tried to instill and send a message for the game of hockey. It's a lifelong thing, and play it, have fun with it, and you can make a lot of great friends that way. And I was fortunate, one of the fortunate ones, to have an NHL career, but I learned a lot more than just that from the game.
And you were saying you're fortunate as well to live in Kelowna these days. So what has your last couple of years been like? What's up next for you in the next couple of months?
It's been good. I got 3 young daughters, and actually spending more time at the rink now. It seems my older 2 have been playing the last couple of years, so helping with that. And I did take a job with Nashville Predators. I didn't do that this year, but I was doing some player development stuff. So still love being around the game and stuff, and enjoy watching it, all that. But just kind of leading that probably a similar life to a lot of parents with young kids. You're kind of busy doing what they're doing, so it's great.
And I'll end you with this because I know you got to get back into action here. If you had to predict what's going to happen in the next Battle of Alberta, considering what recently happened, what's your prediction?
Well, I hope the intensity remains. I mean, I actually happened to be watching it on Saturday, and it just glued you to the TV, knowing the history of those 2 teams and what they're doing on the ice. You could just feel the emotion. So I'm sure it'll be curtailed a bit. I know the league likes kind of putting the damper on a lot of that stuff, but I think it's going to be there now. Those 2 guys are fiery competitors, and I don't think either one will back an inch. So it'll be interesting to see.
I'm certainly hope it will. Thanks again for joining us, Wade. Wade Redden here at the Hillmond Redden Arena.
I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and Hot 93.7, and here's what's happening. Snowmobile drag races. They are going down at the Vermilion Airport on January 25th and 26th. That is 2 days of races and 2 days of prizes. If you want to race in this, racer registration starts at 8 a.m. and it goes till 10. Then the racing kicks off at noon. $10 a ticket, or if you're a family, $25, so not too bad. For more information, you can either check out our websites or call Warren at 780-581-0176. The Wainwright Minor Soccer Association presents AB Comedy Night with Adam Blank and friends. This 18-plus event is happening January 31st at the Wainwright Communiplex. Proceeds will be going towards the soccer field redevelopment project, and you can grab your tickets at Wainwright Auto Repair, Bumper to Bumper, and Triag Implements. Now, going to Vegas is a lot of fun, but it can be a little dangerous for the wallet. So, if you want to have the Vegas experience without the travel, then check out Vegas and Vermilion. That is happening on February 7th. There's going to be cocktails, a gourmet 3-course meal, and then a 2-hour fun casino where everyone's a winner. Tickets for that are also available now. I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and Hot 93.7, and that's what's happening.
Back in Hillmont, and I'm joined by Kelly McClintock, the general manager of the Saskatchewan Hockey Association. So far, it's been a better game than I think both of us were expecting here between the various members of Hitman alumni. It's been a pretty fun night.
Yeah, I think it's been great, and the fans are. It's a lot of people out here on a cold night, so it's entertaining. So I think it's a good night and a good start to the weekend.
Absolutely. And now, obviously, this is an exciting day, Hockey Day in Saskatchewan. The whole weekend is a big one for Hillmont in particular. How important is it to highlight hockey in small communities like this throughout Saskatchewan?
Well, I think it's key. This is our 13th annual, and we always just pick smaller communities around the province. We don't want to go to big cities. We want to help out communities that have capital projects in their rink, and so it really brings the communities together and brings people together, and we want to make the rink the focal point for the weekend. And so we highlight one community, but there's probably 50 or 60 that are doing things this weekend. So that's awesome.
And what stood out to you as well about the job that the Hillmont community has done in preparation for this event and the things that they're going to have throughout the week?
Well, I think what's key is that everyone just pitched in, right? And they got excited. They felt they could get a lot of people for a banquet, so we moved it to Lloydminster, so they have a bigger facility, which means they can make some more money. And Sunday is really a highlight for all the kids to play. All the local teams are playing and the senior teams playing. So I think that's really a positive where it brings people in. But we also want to showcase some of the rest of the hockey in the province. So to have a AAA midget girls and boys game and an SJHL game here, there probably hasn't been one of those games ever held here. So it's really a positive thing, and to showcase other aspects of hockey.
Absolutely. And what's one of the goals that you have at Saskatchewan Hockey kind of moving forward in the next couple of years? Because the game, as we've seen, continues to change. Obviously, safety in the last decade has been much more important as we understand more about head injuries, and the demographics have changed, obviously, throughout Canada. So what's kind of the focus heading into the next couple of years in terms of growing the game in Saskatchewan?
Well, I think it's just the focus is on young kids, and changing the game of how it's played. So, at younger ages, they're playing cross ice, they're playing half ice, so kids can experience the game more and touch the puck more and focus more on skills and fun and not worry about wins and losses. I think that's a real key thing. And get people, coaches are the most important, in my mind, the most important person in the game, because how well they make the experience pleasurable and fun for the kids, the longer they'll stay in the game. So if we can educate coaches to that there's more to it than just wins and losses. I think when we're seeing bigger numbers in our lower age groups across the province, so that's a positive thing.
And then lastly here, what's the next big event following this weekend that you'll be focusing on?
Well, we have an announcement next week in Yorkton, because our Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame induction dinner is in Yorkton, and we're inducting a number of people this July. So our announcement is in Yorkton during a Terrier game next Saturday night, and we're working with the Terriers and minor hockey and a group to raise money there as well. So we try and move things around the province and highlight people from those areas, and we induct into our Hall of Fame, which is based in Swift Current. So that's our next big event.
Awesome. Thanks you once again for this, Kelly.
No problem. Appreciate it.